Hi, how we doing? That's good. That's good. Okay, so I'm gonna try and make this quick. Can you stop chewing on shit? What are you chewing on? Stop. It sounds so gross. Sorry, I'm just scolding my cat. So I know that this is a very different video from what I have been posting on my channel, so it's a little bit serious. But first of all, if you have been following my channel since the first video, just so you know, my channel used to be Luz Torres. That is me. I now go by iSwitch. By the way, that's how you pronounce that. I still go by Luz. Of course, my channel name now is Ides. I also go by iSwitch on TikTok, which I will also explain in a moment. But yeah, I just want to get that out of the way. If you're confused by the channel name, don't get confused. You were in fact following me already. So let me give you some context. If you follow my TikTok at all, or even came from my TikTok, you would know that I have been speaking on the Melanie Martinez / Timothy Heller situation and speaking in support of Timothy Heller. I have made videos on the allegations themselves. However, I have made a series on my TikTok dedicated to calling out multiple lies, rumors, and ridiculous claims that Melanie Martinez's fans have viciously spread about Timothy in their desperate attempt to keep her silent. So that series has covered the claims of Timothy grooming minors, SAing people, and also other very ridiculous claims. And the reason I dedicated a series to dispelling and calling out all those vicious lies and rumors is because Martinez's fans are leveraging these claims above Timothy and purposely spreading them because they have been called out multiple times for spreading already debunked lies and rumors, and they don't care because they're gonna do anything to defend the person that they like. Being accused and called out for something very serious and do their best to completely silence someone daring to speak out against a person they worship. So they still like to spread their claims and their lies and their rumors, and this is done to purposely attack Timothy's character because obviously in the eyes of Martinez's fans, but also people who are questioning the situation, is a way to brand Timothy as unreliable and not credible. So if people believe that she's actually homophobic and racist and a groomer, that means they won't question Melanie Martinez. And of course they'll leverage these false claims over Timothy alongside their debunked allegation claim to in a way distract people from Melanie's actions, such as the way she tiptoed around the accusations and how she handled the situation. And that's still giving Melanie a lot of credit because she actually didn't handle the situation. Not only did she admit to not getting proper consent, she ultimately relied on her fans to silence her accuser, but she also somehow thanked her fans for debunking something she confirmed herself. I am getting way too ahead of myself because that's just a little sprinkle of the observations I have made. But anyway, just a couple of quick disclaimers. This is not my full-length video talking about and covering these rumors and claims on Timothy. This video is only gonna serve as a compilation of the videos I've made on TikTok. And my reasoning for doing this is to just start putting this information on a different platform. Because of my series on TikTok, people are being made more aware of the lies and the claims that Martinez's fans are vigorously spreading, even though they have already been dispelled. And they're doing it purposefully because whoever speaks louder is right. It's also very clear that calling Timothy a liar and a false accuser is just a projection of their behavior and their actions. Subconsciously, they doubt their idol and doubt her innocence and deep down feel guilty about it. So to mask it, they instead berate and attack and create vicious lies on the victim who live with it. Yeah, so ever since I made my series debunking those rumors and those claims on Timothy Heller, I of course have been made the target of insults and of Melanie fans talking about me. Usually it's about my looks, which isn't too bad for me because I know these are mostly under 18-year-olds going through the most awkward phase phase of their life, you know, they're Melanie fans. Because as we all know, most of Melanie's fans relate to the crybaby character and her being bullied and outcasted and weird. And of course, you have the adults who used to relate to that and haven't healed from that. So usually I take what a Melanie fan has to say about my looks or about myself with a grain of salt, because there's no way you're not a fan of Melanie and not relating to what she's singing about. And of course, their insults online are their attempt to be like their bullies that they have in real life. So my problem with them doesn't really have to do with them insulting me. Their insults to my looks aren't my problem, because I have definitely seen them say worse to people that I follow, to people who voice their support of Timothy, and to Timothy herself. I think their victim-blaming rhetoric and their need to berate SA victims is far worse than any insult to my looks, because at the end of the day, that rhetoric harms all SA victims across the board, and it's not a cute look, especially for fans of someone who did in fact sing about victim blaming. It's actually a message in one of her songs, and that's actually pretty interesting considering that she relied on victim blaming to essentially cower and run away from the situation. But okay, before I let you go and check out the compilation of videos, pretty sure I've had a couple of subscribers come from my concert vlog, because at one point I was a Melanie Martinez fan. I did make a community post about withdrawing my support if you wanted to read and check that out. But yeah, I was a fan, and this time around I was able to revisit the allegations as an adult, and unlike when they first came out, I wasn't suffering from mental afflictions that caused me to disassociate for a while. And there was a point where I almost started believing everything that was being said about Timothy. Now revisiting everything and realizing how much I and others have been misled about the whole situation, I undoubtedly support Timothy. I am over my attachment to an artist I used to like. I feel like I have healed from the teen trauma that most people are holding on to as they continue to support Melanie. So this time around, I had the capacity to actually listen to Timothy. This right here has fully developed, and I undoubtedly support Timothy. I hope that this video paints a clear picture of how much Melanie Martinez's fans have purposely misled people, not just about Timothy's story, but also Timothy as a person, to paint her as unreliable and also discredit her for daring to speak out against an artist who has made this vulnerable and innocent image for herself. And I'm glad now she's very confident in herself and realizes how many people actually support her, and I really am happy for that turnaround for her. Yeah, I'm just here to support her and show people how they have been purposely misled about her. But yeah, as mentioned, this is not a full-length video. This is just a compilation of my TikTok videos I have already made. I'm hoping to record said videos soon. It's taking me a second because I want to make sure I cover as much as possible, because to this day, Tinas's fans are still making up new ridiculous lies about her. Which again, when I do make that video, I will of course show some of that ridiculousness. But alright, I'm gonna stop yapping and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Welcome to day 4 on debunking claims against Timothy Heller. Debunking another false essay claim against Timothy. And there are more, by the way. Like, there genuinely needs to be a study conducted on Melanie Martinez fans for how many false allegations they made against Timothy and got caught doing it. So the false claim we are covering today, Timothy raped a fan of hers in 2013. And once again, even though it's false, there are mentions of rape coming up, so just to let you know. Here is that claim. It is still posted onto this anti-Timothy Heller account. Here is page 2. And then this picture was the one given by this person making the claims as proof that they met Timothy. But what if I told you that that person in the picture isn't the person making the claims? Yeah, that's right. That person who made that claims tried to pull a Sarah Morgan and impersonated one of Timothy's actual friends, named Sierra, who called him out for using her picture. Welcome to day 2 of debunking Melanie Martinez's fans' claims against Timothy Heller. Actually, not day 2 because I posted this morning, but it's just to keep things organized. I'm going to briefly talk about the Sela is Free account. This account right here on Twitter who is claiming that Timothy essayed them at a party in 2021. So to start, if everyone doesn't know, there was an account called I'm So Sorry Everyone who came out with a story against Timothy Heller, who also had made claims of Timothy essaying them. By the way, that I'm So Sorry Everyone account was posting on TikTok and then quickly rebranded, and I will tell you why. So that I'm So Sorry Everyone account was caught in 4K falsifying DMs on Discord. They had made claims of Timothy contacting them over Discord and sending nudes. If I remember correctly, they were claiming back in 2017. However, people quickly found out that their account was made this year. So the I'm So Sorry Everyone account got caught and rebranded into a Melanie fan account and pretended nothing happened. And that's where the Sela is Free account comes in, because this account right here is also owned by that I'm So Sorry Everyone account. And thank you to this person on Twitter who posted the screenshot with the evidence. So this was a TikTok by that I'm So Sorry Everyone account, and look at that. Only people who own those Twitter accounts can see that option. So yeah, that's another attempt of Melanie fans trying to put SA claims on Timothy debunked for you. Welcome to day 5 of debunking claims against Timothy Heller. And before I start, I just want to say a quick little update. I will be making a separate account to compile all these videos. And when I do make that account, I will be making a series on how Timothy's story stayed consistent. Unlike what Melanie fans claim. These claim that we are debunking. Timothy Heller came on to a 16-year-old and forced them to smoke weed. This account is where I'm going to get these posts, and they still have it up. You can pause to read if you'd like. Here are more of the parts, but if you want to read the whole thing, you can go to that account, and they still have them up over there. And this was Timothy's response to it. Anyways, despite Timothy's response, the person making the claims stood by it, but that was until they went on Reddit and admitted to lying. I will pull up the confession in just a second, but just prepare yourselves for the most unhinged confession you'll probably ever see, because this person admits to lying and falsifying this claim against Timothy because they were having trouble at home. Instead of getting therapy, they decided to make shit up. So this is the Reddit post. Here is some more of the confession, and if you'd like to pause to read, or I will also type in the description the source that has these photos. And they said they also did it because they wanted to prove a point. Basically, only half apologized for making a serious accusation against Timothy and lying about it. The only point they made is that Melanie fans are actually pretty unhinged, and they just added to the pile of false claims against an SA victim. This person was clearly disturbed, and instead of coming onto the internet to lie, they should have sought adults in their personal lives to vent to. Welcome to day 6 of debunking claims against Timothy Heller. The claim that we are talking about today, Timothy allowed a minor to make an OnlyFans banner for her, and she allowed them to follow a private Instagram. So this is the claim that's being spread around. It was made by a Tumblr account called Exposing Timothy Heller. This is the screenshot that everyone references, and I'm just showing you this so you can see the banners side by side. This is the one that Timothy uses. This is the one that was claimed to be made by a fan for OnlyFans. So this account right here that was claimed to be the private Instagram that was followed by the minor, it is now a fan account, but for a second Timothy did have the handle under herself. So the user who posted this claim is trying to make Timothy's private account out to seem something more nefarious. I think we all know that having a private Instagram doesn't mean that there's not safe for work stuff on it, and a lot of public figures have private Instagrams so that they can be more exclusive to their mutuals/friends, also their active supporters, and giving them exclusive access to a more personal account is to show their appreciation. So yeah, her having a couple of minors who are fans following her private account is not a point to use against her. And you know damn well that if Melanie Martinez had a personal account and had some of her minor fans be allowed to follow an exclusive account, there wouldn't be a problem. You know the fans would be bragging about it. So unless this Tumblr account has evidence that Timothy was using this private account for not safe for work reasons and posting nudies and more sexually explicit content, then this is not a point to hold against her. So this is the banner made for OnlyFans that the minor created. And then this is the banner that Timothy had that was actually on her OnlyFans account. And I actually verified this myself. The pictures of her that are in that banner were all pictures that were taken for her OnlyFans only. And of course, that was before more sites started spreading her videos and her pictures. And the pictures from this banner were already publicly available. So here is my question. If this Exposing Timothy Heller Tumblr account was so confident that this banner right here was made by a fan specifically for OnlyFans, why couldn't they provide evidence of Timothy actually using it for her OnlyFans? Surely, if you were able to take a screenshot for this, you should then be able to take a screenshot of Timothy using this banner if you're going to confidently claim that it was made for OnlyFans and to be used for it. So because this account failed to provide screenshots of Timothy actually using this banner that was supposedly made for OnlyFans by a minor, here's what I think this actually was. That minor made a fan banner to show their support for Timothy and that they idolized her. The user who was a minor at the time still actually follows Timothy's private account. Know how the Melanie Martinez fans who are minors and who are making edits of her in the bakery and like strawberry shortcake and everything? Yeah, that's what that is. It's fan content. That minor more than likely made that banner to show support because of that Tumblr account's failure to get screenshots of it actually being used by Timothy for OnlyFans. Like, this is nothing new. This is just fan content and fans trying to show appreciation for someone they like, and that public figure showing appreciation for it. YouTube banners, Tumblr banners, it's typical fan stuff. He didn't allow a minor to make her a banner. This minor just did it. It's like trying to hold Melanie accountable for all the edits that minors are making of her with like heart pasties on her nails and making thirst traps of her. All Timothy did was express gratitude and and clearly didn't even use it because that Tumblr failed to get screenshots of supposedly a banner made for OnlyFans, but there's no evidence of her even using it for OnlyFans. And again, these are claims made by children who suddenly don't know how fan stuff works, and who definitely do the same to Melanie, and would definitely follow her private Instagram if she had one. Hey, so quick PSA, and just so you guys are aware, in case you run into any minors who are claiming that Timothy sent them inappropriate thing, so if you happen to see this screenshot or any of the emails being attached to these claims, just so you know, it is 100% bullshit, and I'm going to tell you why. So the person who originally made that claim, their account no longer exists. They either deleted it or they rebranded after being caught. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I was lurking on Twitter last week and I ran into another minor who was making claims that Timothy sent them inappropriate things, and they attached these emails and this screenshot to those claims. So before I give you the definitive proof that these emails were not sent from Timothy, let's go over the red flags. First red flag, Timothy Heller. Something she would totally make a choice in doing. And then second red flag, hello, I am also from Ojai. She has never lived in Ojai. She is from Portland, Oregon, and has only reportedly lived in LA. Anyway, if you see any minors claiming that these emails were sent to them, here's how you know it's bullshit. Because these were actually spam emails that were sent to Timothy. And she was the one who posted the screenshots of said emails. So yeah, if you see minors saying that they were sent these emails, they are 100% lying and making shit up again. So I just realized that I never gave an update on this specific claim. But Timothy Heller is not a Nazi and never ever showed support for Hitler, despite what crazy Melanie Martinez stans have told you. And by the way, to the few crazy Melanie fans who still bring me up and try and talk about me and my looks, the more upset you get, the more I'm going to talk about your lies. So this, she's a Nazi, she supports Hitler claim came from this tweet right here. And the person, Joshua Goodson, actually has a video on TikTok explaining what he was saying in that tweet. Here is his TikTok, and it's actually one of the pinned videos. It's the one in the middle. But to put his explanation in the simplest of terms, he was responding to a Melanie fan who was bringing up Melanie's success, basically saying that her success makes it impossible for her to be a bad person. Because, you know, one of the arguments that fans will bring up is that, well, she's successful, so, in response to her rape allegations. And that's what Joshua was responding to in this one comment right here, where he was basically saying, okay, Hitler was successful, that's not a good argument. But of course, stans, with their inability to read or critically think, took that as, one, him comparing Hitler to Melanie. He wasn't comparing his actions to Melanie's actions because they're quite literally not the same. All he was saying was that success doesn't make it impossible for someone to be a bad person. And before anyone starts, him saying Hitler was successful is not in a positive light. Unfortunately, that man successfully killed millions of people. It's unfortunate, but that's just a fact. Joshua is not using successful in the positive light here. But yeah, other than fans taking this tweet to show that Timothy was exaggerating and being dramatic and comparing Melanie to Hitler, I also use this tweet to prove that she supports Hitler and is a Nazi. And as I already explained, that's not what happened. It's really funny that in regards to this tweet, Melanie fans can't come to a specific conclusion and contradict each other. Because at first the claim was Timothy was comparing Melanie to Hitler, which is a negative connotation. But now they're saying that that tweet was in support of Hitler. So let's make up our minds. Was she comparing Melanie to Hitler? Therein, it was a negative connotation. Or was she supporting Hitler? It can't be both. But anyway, apart from that tweet I just showed you, this screenshot right here is also used in support of the Timothy is a Nazi claim. So for one thing, Timothy wasn't the one who drew this. She saw it while out and about and took a picture and posted it. But second, if we use our brains here and critically think and actually look at the picture, it's very obvious that it is a satirical picture mocking Hitler. No, whoever drew it didn't give him angel wings and a halo with a peace sign and smoking weed as like a positive gesture. It is to make fun of the fact that he was not actually a peaceful person. Timothy, being half Jewish herself, is allowed to laugh at jokes like this. But again, very obvious that this picture was made to mock Hitler. It's funny that this screenshot was pushed around when she wasn't even the one who drew it. Anyway, when a Melanie Martinez stan presents you with screenshots, can we actually look into it and not just take it at face value? Welcome to day 3 of debunking claims against Timothy Heller. This one is actually so unserious. The quote-unquote transphobia claim and Timothy faking being transgender for money. Here is the tweet that is involved and Timothy's response to it. So Melanie fans were claiming that this tweet was directed towards transgender individuals and asking any individuals to respond to them for money. But you know what this claim tells me? Melanie fans can't fucking read. The tweet says, also, if you don't identify with gender or trans or anything else, I will send you money. So no, Timothy was not faking being transgender for money. You guys just can't fucking read. So the homophobia claim, Timothy is bisexual. As long as she didn't say the T slur, which she didn't, she's allowed to reclaim the F slur. And then her also using the dyke slur, because I know someone's gonna bring it up. I'm also a lesbian, so don't even try. A lot of bisexual women are once identified lesbian, and vice versa. As a lesbian, I don't care that she used the D slur, because we don't exactly know what at the time she identified as. These claims are so fucking unserious. I am briefly going to talk about this because it has been mentioned to me once again, and I'm going to preface this by saying that no, it is not okay to use the N-word even if you're repeating song lyrics, and I am making you aware so you do know better now. Well, obviously I'm talking about this because Melanie fans like to bring up tweets that Timothy made in 2013, that if you look at them just at face value, they look like she's just being racist, throwing around the N-word casually in conversation. And if you actually look into every single tweet that they mention, it's actually her quoting lyrics. Like, every single one is a rap lyric. And because they all quote rap lyrics, I don't think that's any indication that Timothy was purposely trying to be racist. Because again, that was 2013, and a lot of these conversations surrounding even using the N-word when you're quoting or repeating lyrics didn't really come until further into the mid-2010s to the late 2010s. Repeating lyrics is not enough indication that she was trying to be racist, especially when she later apologized for it. Also never used it in casual conversations or towards others. There is a huge difference between repeating lyrics and being a Brooke Schofield. Because Brooke Schofield wasn't repeating lyrics, she was specifically referring to people using the N-word and referring to black people using the N-word, and also mocked a black man's death. That there is indication of a racist. Anyway, I don't think Melanie fans actually really care about being good people and better than Timothy. When every single conversation that I've had with a fan, especially when they bring up these tweets from 2013, all these people are using ableist slurs such as the R word, and for some reason, Melanie fans like to be transphobic, and proudly so, in 2024. Then they are also made aware of what they're doing and saying is wrong, and they don't give a shit. Like, how are you gonna try and call someone a racist for tweets from over 10 years ago, and you are here, present day, 2024, still using the R word, making fun of trans people's pronouns because they support Timothy, also being straight up misogynists, being victim blamers and blaming people for their assault, including saying that sex workers can't be possibly assaulted, women can't be raped by other women. Like, let's stop pretending that you guys care about being good, moral people. The only reason you guys bring up those tweets from 2013 is because you want something to hold against Timothy, because it's easier to defame and discredit her instead of accepting that your idol may be potentially an actual awful person. Yeah, I don't think those tweets are any indication of Timothy being a racist. She was literally just quoting lyrics, and she knows way better now than to use them again. Let's not pretend that you guys care about being good people when you're not, because you're here present day and you're being made aware that you're not being good people, and you don't give a fuck. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how Melanie Martinez's stans are still trying to deceive you guys to this day. I'm just gonna go ahead and call them stans because there are like casual fans who are also trying to dispel the rumors that they're creating about Melanie's victim, and also trying to tell them that what they're spreading is a big fat lie. But when a Melanie Martinez stan presents you with like evidence or a screenshot of Timothy, her victim, doing something, I actually need you guys to read it and actually take in the context of the screenshot instead of just like looking at it when it's in front of you and following the narrative. I'm gonna briefly talk about this post made by this user right here. Anyway, the point of this post is to claim that Timothy accused the other 3 artists of something. I'm pretty sure in my Melanie Fans Debunked playlist, I actually do briefly cover, I believe, the Billie Eilish thing. So go check out that playlist if you want to see how many lies Melanie Martinez's stans have made about her victim in a desperate attempt to keep her silent. Anyway, if you see this post and in the comments, you can see her stans still claiming that Timothy did that, accuse other people other than Melanie. Here are some examples. And by the way, they'll say that there's evidence, but when asked for the evidence, they make up excuses. So they'll tell you to go look it up yourself. They'll tell you people don't message strangers, and also they won't even know what platform this so-called evidence is even on because it doesn't exist. I did go ahead and try and check out the Twitter posts that supposedly show the evidence. They don't exist because it's not fucking true. The only person Timothy ever accused was Melanie. She accused her of sexual assault. The only other person Timothy ever talked about was Billie Eilish, but it was not to shade her or accuse her of anything. Here are her tweets that were in reference to Billie. It was clearly expressing concern for her. Expressing her concern for the 16-year-old girl in the music industry, the same industry that's currently going through a scandal of covering up sexual abuse of women and girls and protecting abusers. It's not saying this to shade Billie. Billie would have been the victim in this situation. This is the other screenshot they like to bring up of her accusing Billie of something. It's not accusing Billie or even XXX of anything here. Another lie they'll tell you is that she was trying to accuse X and Billie of having a relationship when that's not the case here. She was expressing concern for Billie having been exposed to XX, a man who was reported to have been a violent man. He was very well known to being a violent person and also an admitted abuser and woman beater. And by the way, this isn't about what you think about X or if you still like him. I don't really care about that. Anyway, this is about someone who has experienced abuse before expressing her concern. That's really all it is. She never accused Billie of any shit. But yeah, when Melanie Martinez's stans tell y'all shit, I need you to actually read what evidence they're giving you, not fall quickly for the narrative they're trying to spread.